Hey, third grade. So today we're going to take our understanding of fractions one step farther. And we're going to place whole number fractions and fractions between whole numbers on a number line. We're going to start with some fluency practice. We're going to count by halves from 1/2 to 6/2 and back to 0. Let's go. 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2, 5/2, 6/2. Back down. 5/2, 4/2, 3/2, 2/2, 1/2, 0/2. What's another way you could say 0/2? Exactly, 0. How about 2/2? You're right, 2/2 is equal to 1 whole. How about 4/2? Right, 2, because 4/2 is equal to 2 wholes. Last but not least, 6/2. What's another way we could say 6/2? You're right, 3, because 6/2 is equal to 3 wholes. We're going to start by drawing on our number line with endpoints 1 and 2. Yesterday, all of our number lines had 0 and 1. On your screen, point to where you think the 0 would be. Exactly. Our 0, our imaginary 0, is over here. It still exists. We're just showing different parts of the number line. Now we're going to try and label the parts on this number line. We're going to start by counting so we know our unit fraction. I see, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This line is divided into 4 parts. I know my unit fraction is 1/4. If my unit fraction is 1/4, what is 1 whole? Exactly, 1 whole is 4/4. I'm putting my 1 whole at the 1 because this is where the number line starts. Counting up from 4/4, I know my next fraction is 5/4. Then I have 6/4. Then I have 7/4. And lastly, 8/4. We know that 8/4 is equal to 2 wholes, so we can check our work and make sure we have the right number there. We're going to try this again. Let's look at this line. It goes from 2 to 4. Just start with, what whole number are we missing? What number is between 2 and 4? Exactly, 3. That's an easy one. Now let's count to see what our unit fraction is. 1 whole is divided into 1, 2, 3 parts. If 1 whole is divided into 3 parts, I know our unit fraction is 1/3. However, we started 2 wholes. I know that 1 whole of thirds is 3/3. 2 wholes is going to be 2/3. 2 wholes, therefore, is 6/3. Counting up from there, I know I have 6/3, 7/3, 8/3, 9/3, which is the same as 3 wholes we see, 10/3, 11/3, and 12/3, which we see as the same as how many wholes? Exactly, 4 wholes. All right, so today we're going to practice this tricky next step. Your first step is always look at the whole numbers that are on the ends of the number line. Then count the parts between 2 wholes to